Cassie was on her way to becoming one of the most successful music artists of her generation. And then she met Diddy. What happened after that is a story that has broken many hearts and unveiled the true nature of the man everybody knows and loves. This is the true story of how Cassie, the woman who lived to tell the tale.
I don't think people understand what it's like to be traumatized by somebody famous and rich, because you can't get away from that.
What you gotta say now? You ain't got shit to say. When you put your girl on the snap, baby, yo, babe. I mean, shit getting weird. Come on, baby, it's hot outside. You fucking wrapped up in that blanket. Let's go jog on the beach.
Can't wait to see 3 a.m.
Yes.
The controversy.
Yeah.
How can we get a tape of this?
Oh, I'm gonna send it to you.
He's very particular.
Yeah. Let me see those pictures, because they're like that, you know what I'm saying? How sexy is a motherfucker.
Right.
They were one of the most perfect couples of hip-hop. Everyone loved them. There was Jay-Z and Beyonce, and then there was Diddy and Cassie. Everyone who only saw the outside was jealous of Cassie. They wanted to be her so bad, and they were willing to do anything to take her place.
So that maybe they would work out, or that would work out for
So
them.
let me ask you, in the movie you have, I guess, some very intimate scenes. Yeah. So I'm wondering about the boyfriend, Diddy, whether he came to the set to make sure everything was copacetic with you.
No, he actually really trusted the situation. Him and Terrence spoke beforehand because Terrence.
Wait. Wait. You date P. Diddy?
Oh, wow.
I did not know this. Yeah. Hold the phone.
You know, I typically don't talk about my private life.
Well,
but
forgive me. They put it on the television.
They put it on the television.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I
okay.
mean, I don't go. Like, really, it's your
I'll
business.
let that one go.
So, all right.
But wait, she was telling the story that.
So yeah. Okay. So Terrence was a bit nervous, and I told Puff about it, and he said to have him give me a call. So we FaceTimed, and they had their man talk, and he said, make it believable. You guys, this is like going to be a great movie for you, and he's proud of us at the end of the day. It's work.
The actor talked to Puff.
I try, you know.
Who are you wearing?
I'm wearing Stello.
Gorgeous. Now you're gonna sit down, watch the movie. Your boyfriend's sitting next to you, and you and Terrence are.
Yeah.
What does that feel like?
It's work. It feels, I mean, obviously there's a little bit of anxiety with that, but Terrence is a good friend of mine, and, you know, Puff has been so understanding with everything, so it's good.
So do you believe in love at first sight?
I do.
Was it love at first sight with your boyfriend?
It was a long time ago.
What makes you?
Just kind of like breaking the rules a little bit, or like leading up on us a little.
I could see where you would feel that way. I totally do. I think that Eva, I think that the power in her character is that she listens. She may not want a relationship or want that deep of a situation, but she's paying attention to what he feels. And, you know, if he's not happy, it also keeps her from getting what she wants.
Around it. It's Diddy.
Of course.
He's a marquee name. He's one of the richest guys in our culture, hip hop, richest guys in the world even. And I'm sure you being your own person, is that hard in a relationship to navigate that?
You know, it was difficult to navigate it for a little while just because, you know, people automatically at this point now just don't associate me with music anymore all the time, but I do have a core group of fans that just ride or die, and they're just like, when is it coming, when is it coming? So that was part of the reason why I kept going, but also because I just love making music, and it is sometimes difficult to get through that, but ultimately whatever works out is gonna work out. So.
I also read that.
Knowing what we know now, it's obvious Cassie was in a really bad place during many of her interviews. But back then, nobody suspected a thing, because Diddy was a master manipulator who knew how to keep his tracks clean. But those who were close to Diddy knew the kind of man he really was. Behind those dark, soulless eyes lies a cold heart that knew no empathy.
Well, I have kept this secret for like 14 years. I mean, the first time I experienced it was 2010. And I was in the hotel room when Puff came in, and I had no idea Cassie left. And when I woke up, I just saw his presence come into the room. They went into the bedroom and shut the door, and all I could hear is screaming and yelling and whatever was going on in there, I don't know. but all I could think of was to grab Cassie's things and start packing it up and just getting her out to safety.
What more do I have to do, man? Look at my hat, man. Look at my hat. Look how I show up on the Amalfi Coast, B. Am I letting y'all down? Let me know. Am I not representing y'all the right way? You know what I'm saying? The fuck? Shit started out in the Bronx, man. Look where this shit is at now, man. Show them another.
No, we didn't know what to do at that point because, you know, Puffy is a very powerful person and we were quite terrified. So I just, you know, brought her to my house, and my friend, who is a doctor, I called her, and thank God she was in town because we didn't know what to do. And she treated her for, you know, just to make sure she didn't have a concussion or anything like that. But it was really it was painful to see Cassie like that because she's such a, you know, a beautiful human being, and for a man to just hurt any sort of woman or child or animal, it doesn't matter. But Cass is a good friend of mine, and I just felt, you know, I just didn't know what to do. I felt like, I don't even know how to describe how I felt that night.
Did she describe?
It was back in 2005 when Cassie first crossed paths with Diddy. She was a shining light, and Diddy knew how far she could go in the music industry. So he decided to bring her under his wings.
Top dead gorgeous girl celebrating a birthday party. And I just saw that flock of girls, and there was a young lady who knew every lyric to every major rap record.
And I'm really, really nervous. What's up? My name is Cassie. I'm with Next Election, and I'm so excited that you guys are playing my song. This is incredible.
Big tune, man.
DJ.
At the time, Diddy was in an on and off relationship with his ex-wife and baby mama Kim Porter, whose story is also as horrific as they come. But for Diddy, Cassie wasn't just a love interest, she was more like a slave.
Are on the rise. Among some of the serious allegations were that P. Diddy sex trafficked Cassie to male prostitutes to fulfill his voyeurism fantasies in hotels at his home. Now, he met this girl when she was young, and he's sitting there basically masturbating and forcing her to do this with these guys while he films it. When she tried to leave him, he raped her. Often, he would punch, beat, kick, and stomp on her, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding. So after that...
Is he controlling? Yes, he is. Will he put his hands on a female? Yes, he will. Would he put his hands on a male producer or anything? Yes, he will. I know those things about him.
Former...
For years, Cassie's horrors were hidden behind a glamorous lifestyle. The only hint the public had was there was little gossip that flowed in from those who knew how Diddy truly was. But Cassie herself remained silent, even after breaking up with Diddy in 2018. She never publicly addressed the claims, and that was until November 2023, when news broke that Cassie was finally suing Diddy after so many years.
A lawsuit filed against Sean Diddy Combs accuses the music performer and executive of rape, physical abuse, and sex trafficking. The singer Cassie says,
describing the music mogul as a vicious, cruel, and controlling man, saying she was trapped and held down by Combs. She's now suing him for what she says happened during what she's calling a cycle of abuse, spelling out incident after incident.
And the claim is that during their relationship, he was physically abusive, that he required or demanded that she perform certain sexual acts with other people while he was there, and that he in fact raped her shortly before she left him. She said she did not want to have sexual relations with him, and he forced himself on her. That's the basis of this lawsuit and why it's moving forward. Now, you are right to talk about the fact that this lawsuit was brought in New York because these things happened years ago. So the statute of limitations is gone most places, but in New York, they have this law where they opened it up for a year and said, if you're a survivor of sexual assault, You have a year to bring your claim, and that expires next week, November 23rd of this year.
Okay, so you've handled several high-profile cases. What would your defense strategy look like?
Absolutely. I have a lot of high-profile clients, and the first thing that comes to mind when we get these lawsuits in, not just of this nature, but any of them, is that the people are about money. This is a civil lawsuit, and at the end of the day, Cassie would receive money if she wins. So the first defense is always going to be that these claims are made up, that they're exaggerated, that none of this happened. She simply wants money. She knows that Sean Combs has it, and she wants a piece of it. That's the first and most natural defense.
But not only did Cassie get money, she got a lot of it. While the internet was busy debating whether Diddy was guilty or not, the man had gone behind closed doors to settle the case before Cassie revealed anything too damaging.
Poole possibly thinking about the massive lawsuit his ex Cassie filed that contained serious accusations. Though he can probably stop thinking about it because
it's all over, just like that. So Diddy and Cassie's big legal showdown after her allegations that she leveled in this federal lawsuit. She is making all these allegations: rape, human trafficking, horrible allegations.
Yes, but Diddy's lawyers allege the lawsuit is just the result of Diddy refusing to pay Cassie the $30 million she initially demanded. Regardless, it's all wrapped up pretty amazingly quick.
She filed it on Thursday, and just over 24 hours later, they settled. And they both say that they have settled it amicably.
Which means no huge public trial, but it does raise a question.
If he was really this concerned, knowing what she was alleging, why didn't he settle it the day before she filed?
Because he didn't think she
He
would.
called her bluff. Her bluff is, I'm gonna file a lawsuit.
And he said, no, you won't.
Why would he say that?
Because he's Diddy and he went, nobody sues me.
Yes. Or maybe Diddy just didn't think.
But even with the case settled out of court, a lot of people kept defending Diddy. However, everything changed on May 17th of 2024 when CNN released this footage.
You're going to show us the video, but first, give us some context on what we're about to see.
Yes, Jake, this is incredibly disturbing footage, so I do want to warn our viewers, as you did. But as you said, Cassie's lawsuit, which was filed in November of 2023 and then was quickly settled overnight, it did open the floodgates. But in that complaint, Jake, she details an incident that she alleged happened in March of 2016 at a hotel in Los Angeles. She claimed in her lawsuit that she was physically assaulted by Diddy. Now our team in the LA Bureau, we have got our hands on that surveillance footage, and it appears to corroborate Cassie's claims identically. Really, Jake, the lawsuit lines up with exactly what we are seeing. So let's take a look. New surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs.
It was damning footage that finally confirmed some of the rumors about Diddy. While this clip had been in the hands of certain individuals for many years, this seemed like the perfect time to unleash the evidence, and people couldn't stop talking about it.
Cassie filed her lawsuit in November. The feds raided Diddy's home in March. Now we see this awful video, which is more than 8 years old. And yet, Diddy has still not been charged with anything. I would think there would be grounds for his arrest in that video. Why hasn't he been charged with anything?
Well, the video is out of the statute of limitations. The statute of limitations in California for a simple assault is a year. For domestic violence assault, it was 3 years. They've moved that up to 5 years, but this is out of range for a state charge in California. However, let's get back to that federal investigation. What HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, is doing, as Elizabeth framed it, is they are building a racketeering case, a RICO case based on human trafficking and allegations startlingly similar that track those that have been made in Cassie Ventura's lawsuit and in the lawsuit by another individual who worked for Combs that tell these stories of people being brought in the presence of weapons and drugs and so on. It's very much like what they did in the R. Kelly case, which got him 30 years in prison. So this charge, even though it's state crime is out of the statute of limitations, would be fair game in that federal case.
Cassie Ventura's husband of 4 years, Alex Vine, has a scathing message for all abusers. In an open letter he shares to Instagram on May 17th, addressed to women and children, he writes, "Men who hit women aren't men. Men who enable it and protect those people aren't men. As men, violence against women shouldn't be inevitable. Check your brothers, your friends, and your family. Our daughters, sisters, mothers, and wives should feel protected and loved." The 1883 actor continues, "Men who hurt women hate women. To all the survivors, your stories are real and people believe you."
He was like cussing her out with his hand in her face. Later that night, Red, who was staying at Cassie's home, says she awoke to screaming. He's standing in the living room area and she's there. And he was like, "Emotional scene, there you are." And I just was like, oh, he's talking to me. And I remember, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside. And I remember looking in his eyes and I said to him, "What did y'all do?" Because I could see that she was really sedated. That was the first time I ever seen her high before. And then he says, "Tell your girl she wants some birthday." And we were like, well, I mean, he's saying this to me and I'm like, well, she doesn't have to have sex with you if she doesn't want to. He was upset, I guess that she didn't want to do with him whatever he wanted. I don't know. I don't feel like I could advocate for myself in that moment. I realized oh, this guy is dangerous.
Red says it was only a few months ago.
I want to declare right here over these digital airwaves of YouTube that the career of Sean P. Diddy Combs, as we know it, it's over. This is over.
It was this video that ended up destroying Diddy's reputation. Sure, he had a couple of loyalists defending his bad behavior, but for the most part, nobody liked him anymore. And as more lawsuits piled up, the feds moved in. He was picked up and is currently fighting for his freedom, which, let's just admit, he might never find.